Hey guys, hey, thanks for joining me for another Modern Wildman turkey call video. And so, hey, I just want to set the stage a little bit. Turkey season is about over here in Kansas where I'm hunting birds. I've shot a bird. My son, Little Wildman, got his bird. If you want to follow me on Instagram, modern_wildman, or if you jump over to my Facebook page, I've got the Modern Wildman thing going on over there. I'm also on Twitter. And I've got the Modern Wildman blog. So I'm a blogger, I'm an outdoor writer, I write for some other clients and do things in that space, but I just want to talk a little bit more about turkey calling and about different turkey calls. So we did a video on the horseshoe nail call, which is a new call for a lot of folks. We did a video on mouth call, actually from the field. Put up a video on the slate pot calls, and so one of the videos that I needed to do was the old traditional box call, and so I've got two box calls right here. This call right here, this big old, I don't know, let's put a measuring tape on this thing, or a measuring stick. It's a big call. So this call is, I'm gonna say, start at the wrong end here. It's 7.5 inches. That's a pretty big box call. This is the original turkey call that I ever purchased when I first started turkey hunting. So this happens to be a Lohmann Model 870, made in Neosho, Missouri. So I'll give you guys a good look at that call. I've called a lot of turkeys with this thing. Got a lot of gobbles. I don't use a box call as much as I used to. So I keep a rubber band on this thing so that when it's in your vest and you're walking around in the woods, it's not making a lot of noise. I usually will leave the rubber band on it when I'm calling. A lot of guys will take it off. It's really personal preference. So just give you an idea here, there's two sound chambers. I'll take the rubber band off there. So there's two sound chambers. One is bigger than the other. And then you notice right here, there's a little holder for some chalk, and that's pretty slick. So you chalk these rails up, and if you see, there's a curve made into that call. And so we got a brass screw with a spring on it. If you can see that, if it'll focus there. So the idea is this striker also has a curve to it. So if you can see that, I lost my chalk there. But what happens is you take this striker face and you drag it across the box like this. Okay, so that's one side of the box, and you get that yeah. So we start out higher and you kind of open that up, and that's pretty critical there. So here's the other side. So you can tell this box it's pretty versatile. You can really get loud with this thing. So if it's windy, or if you're just trying to strike one up, maybe in the evening you're trying to roost one, and you just want to find an area on a creek. Maybe you're on a ridge and these birds are roosting in a creek bottom, and you can hear a gobble every little bit, but you can't figure out where that bird's at, and you want to go hunt him in the morning. You can really cut some noise and just scream with one of these things, and get one to fire back at you. So, and I guess it's versatile enough that you can play it nice and quiet. And it doesn't take a lot of motion. I would say not any more than a pot or a glass call. Slate or glass in a pot. So, now here's a little, so this one we said was made by Lohmann. This one's made by HS Strut. I picked it up at a hardware store a year or two ago. This one's supposed to be waterproof. I haven't tested it. So this requires no chock. It has a single chamber, same idea. You got the curved paddle, curved box, and this has an abrasive finish on it, so it makes a little bit of drag both on the box and the paddle. And so the idea here is, I'll just give you an idea. It's definitely smaller, right? So it's not as loud. So this box, if it gets wet, you're probably done with this call till it dries out. And like a slate, you can carry like a Bic lighter. If that slate gets wet, you can cook that moisture off and you're good to go again. With this type of call, obviously you're not going to take a lighter to it and dry it out. So that is one disadvantage of this type of call. This box call, like I said, it's supposed to be waterproof. I haven't, got it wet on purpose and tried it. That might be a video worth doing about what calls to use if you're in a damp situation. It's raining this morning. That's why I'm not turkey hunting. So just leave a comment down below if you guys would be interested in a video around turkey calls in wet conditions. That might be something that we could cover and be interesting. But anyway, this little call, there's one side, there's the other side. So you can really get one going, get him excited, or you can stretch it out. Same deal. I'll put a rubber band around this call and I put it in my vest. This one's small enough, actually I'd have to double that rubber band up. And you can play it, if you pull it out of your vest and you don't want a bunch of hand motion. So that's with the rubber band still on. Just a quick little bit here about tuning a box call. So this is what you need to tune a box call, is a Phillips screwdriver. And to tune a box call, what you're going to do is just make like a quarter turn on this screw. So there's the sound it's making, and if I want to adjust that, I can make just a slight turn on that. And I'll just keep going. I'll back this off a ways. And what you'll see is as I back that off, it's changing the pitch of how the angle that striker hits the box. So this one it's not making a lot of difference. Now I have tuned some that, man, you make just a little bit of a turn and it makes a lot of difference. So anyway, if your box call maybe isn't making the sound that you want it to make, or it was a really good call and then all of a sudden it started making a real flat sound, or it was too raspy, or you just didn't like the way it played anymore, try that. It may have just got out of tune, and by adjusting that screw just a little bit, there we go, she's getting a little bit cleaner there, just a nice crisp. There, I like that. So box calls, man, guys have been killing turkeys with box calls for a long time, and I don't always carry one with me in the woods, but put one in your vest. I think they'll make a big difference for you, especially when you got to reach out and really call to one or get one to gobble. Yeah, so I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you like the content, please subscribe. That means a lot. I'm trying to grow the channel, and I appreciate that. If you're a turkey hunter and you got some experience with some different calls, leave a comment. If there's some content that you'd like to see, let me know. And I'd really appreciate it if you go over and follow me on social media and check out the blog. If you go to modernwildmanadventure.com, you can follow along with some of my writing and the blog posts that I put up. So I sure appreciate it. I'll catch you guys on the next video.